Hello, Intuitive Channel Sherry Lynn here. I hope you're well. I wanted to talk to you about emotional patterns, where they come from, and what their purpose is, and how to release them. So I hope you find this helpful. Sometimes in life we have patterns that are repeating, and we are fed up. It's hurtful, and they keep happening again and again, and we know it's a pattern, but we don't know where it's from, and we don't know what to do about it. So where do they come from? Let me start with an example. Let's say when someone was growing up, the father left the family, abandoned the family, and the mother was left to take care of the kids on her own, and she felt betrayed. If you were experiencing this as the child in that family, you may have absorbed the betrayal. And what happens is there's the event, which is the father leaving, and then there's the meaning we put onto the event and the beliefs we put on to the event, and they get attached. The beliefs and the meaning get attached to the event, and it feels like it's all connected. And the belief one might pick up from that event in this example is, men betray me. And it gets stuck inside of us as energy. And we grow up, and as an adult, we get a job, and career's going great, and then a coworker, this is just an example, coworker takes credit for your idea, and you feel betrayed. And it doesn't feel good, but there's a familiarity to it because it happened before when you were little. And what happens at the first time it happens is it becomes proof to you that you were right, that men betray you. And it gets established as a belief that really is true. And it manifests again and again. That's where the pattern has begun to expand. So it may happen again in a relationship where things are going great, and say the man cheats on a woman. It could be the other way, but I'm giving the example of a woman growing up with this belief. And she feels betrayed. And it's familiar, and it's happened before. It happened at the job with the coworker taking credit for your creative idea. And it happened when you were little, but you might not be making the connection. You might not be making the connection to when you were little. So it's starting to build up to become aware in your consciousness that there's a pattern going on here. It's repeating. And then we can become more sensitive to it, and we look for it, and we can recognize it really well. It happens again and again with a friend, and you're trusting them, so there's a trust issue in there too. And then they tell someone a secret that you ask them to keep confidential, and so it feels like you're betrayed. It is a betrayal, and it's familiar, even more so because it happened with a relationship and it happened with a coworker. So you see how this pattern repeats to the point where you recognize, oh, here it is again. I have a pattern, and I don't like it, and I'm tired of it, and I want to be done with this. What is going on? So what's going on is that the pattern is actually, in a way, a blessing in disguise, trying to get your attention, as if it's a teacher in your life giving you a clue of what's stuck inside energetically that's arising to be healed, to be released and let go. And that's the big picture in a nutshell of why it happens. when we've had enough, we're ready to take action, and we can make a decision to release the belief and the pattern, to bless it and let it go with love, because it serves you in the sense that you will be releasing the core emotional event that happened, that expanded into showing up in different areas of your life. And sometimes we don't really have to remember what the original event was. We just know we've got the pattern and we don't like it. We want to be free of it. So how do we release the pattern? There's a lot of really good ways. One way that I find very effective is to have a releasing ceremony, which is simply setting your intention to be free of it, writing the belief on a piece of paper, and safely burning it. Or you could rip it up and flush it down the toilet. Whatever feels effective to you, whatever you're drawn to in your heart, follow that. You're blessing it for what it brought you, and it's giving you the gift of your freedom from the pattern, freedom from the belief. Another way is just to surrender it over to a higher power, whatever you believe in. I think of it as the divine spirit, and with the intention of being free of it completely, 100%. So those are just two examples of ways to set yourself free. Okay, then the last stage is what happens after you've done the releasing. It may be, and I see this often with clients, that an experience happens again that feels like a betrayal. It's not a necessity that it happens again, but I see it often does. Don't be discouraged. This is the universe giving you the opportunity to determine if you're serious about being free of the belief. In other words, it's practice to say, well, I'm free of it. This doesn't need to happen anymore. I'm not going to allow it into my experience. I really meant it when I released it. And what you'll see happening over time is, if the incident or the pattern tends to repeat, it will repeat less often. There'll be more time in between, and it will be less intense, less hurtful each time that it happens, to the point where it's less and less and less frequent and less and less and less intense, to the point where you're free of it and it no longer happens. You don't, even when you hear about somebody else being betrayed, it doesn't trigger you because it's not in there anymore. That's another, I'll make another video about being triggered by other people's painful experiences. But anyways, that's how it works. Then you're free of it, and the pattern served its purpose, mission accomplished. And I hope this is helpful. Let me know in the comments below. And I wish you freedom from any unwanted patterns. All my love.